Some criminals walk into the day convinced nothing can go wrong, as if common sense were someone else's responsibility. But the strangest crimes often begin with that kind of confidence. Stick around, because every story in this collection proves that bad decisions have a way of writing their own unforgettable endings. He jumped out the window thinking it was his best escape. Turns out gravity was working with the police that day. That's not superhero instinct, that's instant regret. These robbers nearly emptied every register in the store, until one of them made the worst mistake possible, attacking the owner. Seconds later, employees and customers turned the robbery into a beatdown. They stormed into a co-op in Rochdale armed with an axe and loaded a wheelie bin with cigarettes. The getaway looked smooth until the CCTV footage became the real headline. No mask, no real plan. Just enough confidence to rob a gas station in broad daylight. Then the owner fought back, and suddenly the getaway became a full-speed retreat. The masked robber thought everyone would freeze. Instead, one customer stepped in, fought back, and escorted him right out the door. Masks on, knives and a gun ready. They thought they had the perfect robbery in Benevento, until a police patrol walked in and ended it on the spot. This 45-year-old walked into a pharmacy in Seville with a handgun, expecting everyone to panic. Instead, the customers tackled him before he got very far. That's one prescription for instant regret. He smashed the display case, as if the robbery had already been a success. But then the store owner rushed in, and the only thing that got smashed was escape plan. These two thought a fries shop would be an easy target. Instead, the owner chased them out before they could steal a single thing. Turns out, the hottest thing in the shop wasn't the fryer. It was the owner. Sometimes the biggest hero in the room isn't a police officer. It's an ordinary person who refuses to let a violent robbery succeed. This guy proved exactly that. Imagine spending the middle of the night cutting into a store, trying over and over to yank out an ATM, only to leave empty-handed when the alarm goes off. Then you discover you also left the stolen vehicle and enough forensic evidence to earn yourself 8 years in prison. That's a rough night. Three suspects showed up armed and confident, expecting an easy payday at a Shell gas station. The only problem? The safe refused to cooperate. After all that planning, they drove away with nothing but wasted gas, security footage, and another case for detectives to solve. At the time, nobody knew the gun was fake. The employee took a huge risk by jumping into the fight, and that split-second decision completely changed the outcome. The robbery ended with the suspect running away empty-handed instead of walking away with cash. For $274, this suspect triggered a chain of events that ended with injuries, an arrest, and a criminal case. The cash didn't stay stolen, the employees weren't hurt, and the only lasting reward was a future filled with legal consequences. He thought he had beaten the system, but the security guard showed up at the perfect moment. The bag was packed, the tape was ready, and the escape plan was officially canceled. They planned every detail of the heist, except the part where the security dog had other ideas. One bark was all it took to turn a high-speed getaway into a full-speed retreat. Sometimes, the best alarm system has 4 legs and a loud opinion. She bolted for the exit like the hard part was already over. What she didn't expect was a security guard who reacted even faster. Just a few steps from freedom, her escape came to a complete stop. The thief probably expected a bag of cash, not a bottle of red wine to the head. That robbery took a very unexpected turn, and suddenly, the quickest way out of the store seemed like the smartest option. Crime doesn't always happen in the shadows. Sometimes it unfolds in broad daylight with shocking boldness. But when the dust settles, panic fades, and consequences begin. He thought stealing a bike would be the easy part. What he didn't expect was a crowd of shoppers stepping in before he could make his escape. Sometimes the fastest response doesn't come from the police. It comes from ordinary people. The robbery lasted only moments before the suspect realized he'd picked the wrong liquor store. Instead of walking away with money, he was the one being chased out. Being targeted once is frustrating. Being targeted every week is exhausting. When another robbery unfolded, the owner decided this time the story wouldn't end the way the thieves expected. He grabbed a shopping basket packed to the brim, headed straight for the emergency exit, and thought one hard kick would set him free. Instead, he failed to break the door, broke his leg, and turned his getaway into a ride in an ambulance. This wasn't a quiet shoplifting attempt. It turned into a full-blown struggle as employees tried to stop the suspects before they could leave. Sometimes, the hardest part of stealing isn't getting the merchandise. It's getting out the door. This thief really thought stuffing stolen veggies and BBQ meat inside a charcoal bag was a genius idea. Turns out, the only thing getting grilled was his plan. These thieves thought smashing into Liquorland and escaping in a stolen car was a genius plan. But after grabbing the liquor, 3 of them drove away and left one partner behind. The cameras caught everything, even the worst teamwork in criminal history. Nothing screams financial crisis quite like using a frying pan as your financial advisor. Unfortunately, the ATM wasn't interested in negotiating with cookware. Imagine stealing a Maserati and BMWs worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, only to have security cameras record every move you make. These thieves thought they were making a luxury escape, but they were actually creating a luxury case file for the police. She thought stealing was the worst part of the day. But then she made the classic mistake of trying to cover it up with even more trouble. Instead of escaping the embarrassment, she created an even bigger scene. This thief really thought wiping down the counter would erase the crime. He jumped over the jewelry counter, grabbed as much gold as he could, and tried to clean up his fingerprints on the way out. This thief really thought he was starring in his own Mission Impossible movie. He rappelled through the roof, searched the store, and escaped the same way he came in. A group of nearly 20 masked criminals rushed a jewelry store, stole $1 million in valuables. and created chaos on the way out. It started like any ordinary shift, then suddenly turned into something straight out of an action movie. A normal workday became a fight to stay safe, but somehow the store kept moving forward. Five masked robbers showed up carrying sledgehammers and what appeared to be automatic weapons, convinced they had planned the perfect heist. Instead, the jewelry stayed put, and the robbery fell apart almost as quickly as it began. Sometimes, overwhelming force still isn't enough. He almost stole the grill, but forgot one important detail. The smart doorbell was smarter than he was.
Call the police, so I advise you not to do that. Yeah, thank you.
He entered the bank thinking he was smarter than the security system, but the revolving door became his biggest enemy. Instead of escaping with money, he ended up stuck in place waiting for the police to show up. Sometimes, the best security guard is just a door. Some people see a tool on a shelf. Others see trouble waiting to happen. This thief chose the wrong path, thinking he could grab a nail gun and get away. But greed has a funny way of turning simple plans into unforgettable mistakes. He walked in with a knife, grabbed the cash drawer, then the clerk pulled a gun. The cash hit the floor, and the robber hit the exit. Guess which one was scarier, the knife or the gun? These burglars smashed through a store window expecting cash. When the register came up short, they left with 20 kilos of butter and a few milkshakes. Inflation really has criminals rethinking their investments.
Call the police out. They're in the office at the minute.
Police are now. It's stupid.
Very stupid.
Yeah, go on.
Steal today, receive a free pair of police handcuffs. Limited time offer. Seven houses, one car, and not a single unlocked door. That's got to be one of the most frustrating nights a burglar has ever had. Four people went to a convenience store to steal cigarettes and vapes. If they get caught, they'll end up trading those items for prison-issued supplies. It turned out to be a very expensive shopping trip.
Phải xấu rồi vậy ơi. Thôi đi xấu. El cliente como si nada, siguió, ah.
Imagine pulling off a robbery just as a patrol car pulls into the parking lot. Their getaway lasted about as long as a microwave popcorn commercial.
Ah, yo lo hubiera pegado ahí un solo pescozón.
They broke the door down and rushed in, thinking they were about to get some free shopping. Instead, they left behind security camera footage, stolen merchandise, and plenty of evidence for the police. That definitely wasn't the kind of souvenir they had in mind. This is exactly why you can't let your guard down when carrying valuable items. 1 second of distraction was enough to put everything at risk. A small mistake can lead to a big loss, and this video proves it. This was supposed to be a robbery, not a comedy show. She grabbed a rock, tried to break the window, and ended up creating one of the most embarrassing moments caught on camera. Lesson learned. If your pants can't stay up, your crime plan probably won't either. He hid the bubble gun in a bag, demanded money, and probably expected everyone to panic. But this robbery plan popped faster than the bubbles from his fake weapon. A toy gun, a bad idea, and a very embarrassing ending. This robber walked into an ice cream shop thinking he had an easy target, but he picked the wrong place. When he threatened the store with a knife, the employee fought back, grabbed a chair, and took him down. The robbery lasted only moments, but the lesson lasted much longer. He checked the bike. He checked the street. What he forgot to check was the smart doorbell watching everything. The moment the homeowner spoke through the camera, the getaway plan disappeared faster than the thief did. Watching Robert wrestle with his mask was more entertaining than the robbery itself. His pride took the biggest hit that day. The store owner showed up at exactly the right moment, and everything changed in seconds. What looked like a clean getaway instantly turned into an on-the-spot arrest. Every case in this collection is a reminder that the smallest choice can set an entire chain of events in motion. Whether it was quick thinking, teamwork, or pure determination, someone was always ready to tip the balance. Sometimes the biggest mistake isn't breaking the rules. It's believing no one is paying attention. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves true crime stories.